Greetings and welcome to my podcast. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner. When I first started my podcast, one of my major goals was to address things that I saw people struggling with while on their weight loss journey. In today's episode, we'll dive into two major challenges that often hinder weight loss: a slow metabolism and sugar cravings. While GLP-1 medications can help reduce sugar cravings and support overall weight loss, I want to emphasize strategies for controlling cravings and boosting your metabolism while you're on the medication. This way, you'll be better equipped to manage these challenges when it's time to transition off the medications. Several factors contribute to a slow metabolism. They are getting older. As we age, muscle mass tends to decrease and fat tends to increase, unfortunately. Since muscle burns more calories than fat, this reduces the resting metabolic rate. This is why it is important to incorporate weights into your exercise routine, which leads me to the second reason individuals have a slower metabolism: loss of muscle mass, which is also known as sarcopenia. With aging and or lack of physical activity, muscle mass declines, which leads to fewer calories burned at rest. A major goal to achieve an increased metabolism is to train your body to burn more calories. And then there's hormonal changes. Hormonal imbalances, particularly thyroid hormones, can slow metabolism. But menopause in women also leads to hormonal shifts that may reduce metabolic rate. Next is reduced physical activity in general. Sedentary lifestyles can lead to fewer calories burned, resulting in a slower metabolism. A lot of times, my patients will tell me that they now work from home and are even more sedentary than they were before. I was not a big fan of counting steps a few years ago, but it is helpful. Being sedentary is not the goal, so make sure to get your steps in. 10,000 steps a day is a good goal to set. And then there's chronic dieting. Repeated cycles of extreme calorie restriction or yo yo dieting can cause the body to adjust by slowing down metabolism to conserve energy. So, while I use the term diet in general, I use it meaning a true lifestyle, not a fad diet. For example, make sure you eat a well balanced diet. However, stop engaging in fad diets. Does that make sense? And then genetics. Some people are naturally predisposed to a slower metabolism due to their genetic makeup. But like I said, you can train and teach your body to increase your metabolism. I do it all the time when I'm prepping for a show. I do a lot of cardio and lift weights. I actually do this year round, but I go even harder when I'm getting ready for a show. And then lack of sleep or a poor sleep pattern. Poor sleep can disrupt hormones like cortisol and insulin, leading to metabolic changes that make it harder to burn calories efficiently. So make sure you're getting adequate sleep at night and try to go to sleep around the same time, wake up around the same time. Sleep is super important. And then there's dehydration. Water plays a critical role in metabolism. Dehydration can reduce the body's ability to process foods efficiently. I encourage a gallon of water a day, if not contraindicated, for pretty much everyone. If you were to Google it, it would say drink half of your weight in ounces a day. For me, that would actually be less than a gallon. And for people who weigh over 300 pounds, that would be more than a gallon a day. I really feel that a gallon a day is fine as long as it is not contraindicated for you. And make sure to spread it out throughout the day. There is such a thing as water toxicity. And then there's stress. Chronic stress can lead to elevated cortisol levels, which may slow down metabolism and promote fat storage, which is what we do not want. Sometimes when a person is doing everything they are supposed to do, but the weight just won't come off, it could be stress levels, which can definitely affect your hormones or prevent or make it even more difficult to lose weight. And then medications. Certain medications, such as antidepressants and other meds, can affect metabolic rate and cause weight gain. And then missing meals, especially breakfast, can slow down your metabolism because the body goes into energy conservation mode when it's not getting regularly fueled. Basically, it goes into starvation mode. So, try not to skip meals, and I always promote eat small, frequent meals, unless you're doing something like intermittent fasting, which is perfectly fine. That's not something I do, but it is a great way to lose weight. But as far as skipping meals, if you're just eating regularly, I know a lot of people will say, well, I'm not hungry, so I don't eat breakfast. I eat my first meal around lunch, then I just kind of eat whatever. Well, I want you to start being intentional. Don't skip breakfast and then eat small, frequent meals every couple of hours. And even though I call them meals, you might call them snacks. So, whatever it is, just make healthy choices. And speaking of food, lack of protein. Not consuming enough protein can lead to muscle loss. Since muscle burns more calories than fat, losing muscle mass slows your metabolism. So, this is a huge reason why you do want to build muscle. You want to have a adequate and fast working metabolism. So, it's nothing wrong with going to the gym and using some of the weights. And then high sugar intake. Diets high in sugar can lead to insulin resistance, making it harder for the body to process energy efficiently, which can slow metabolism. So, watch your sugar intake. Sugar is not your friend. Next is too much processed foods. Processed foods are typically low in nutrients and high in unhealthy fats and sugars, which can negatively affect metabolism and increase fat storage. And then this one I kind of touched on already, but lack of strength training. Focusing only on cardio without including resistance training can result in muscle loss. Muscle mass is critical for maintaining a healthy metabolism. I always tell my patients, yes, cardio is absolutely wonderful. Cardio will help you lose weight, but it's not going to really help with muscle mass. If anything, if you do a ton of cardio and you do not do any weightlifting or weight training, you're going to lose muscle. So you have to have that balance. So make sure you're doing your cardio, but also make sure you're doing your strength training as well. Maintaining muscle mass through strength training, staying hydrated, managing your stress, and ensuring sufficient sleep can help keep metabolism active. I cannot stress these key factors enough. So make sure to incorporate those that need to be incorporated on a daily basis starting now, if you're not doing so already, and stop doing the things that are slowing down your metabolism. A well functioning metabolism will be a huge key to your weight loss success when coming off of the GLP-1 medications. Now, let's talk about sugar cravings, why they occur, and ways to minimize them. Sugar cravings can be caused by a variety of factors, including blood sugar imbalances. When blood sugar levels drop, the body signals for quick energy sources, often leading to cravings for sugary foods. This is why the GLP-1 medications work so well. They help with sugar cravings by controlling insulin and blood sugar levels. However, once you stop taking the GLP-1 medications, many times those sugar cravings will come back. And that's not even to say that you won't have them while taking the GLP-1 medications. This is where what you eat on a regular basis matters, regardless of being on the GLP-1 medications or not. Try to limit the amount of foods that spike your blood sugar levels, especially foods that are considered to have a high glycemic index. Refined carbs such as white bread, white rice, sodas, candy, breakfast cereals, and desserts tend to have a high glycemic index. So, I'm not going to say avoid them altogether, but I would say try to limit them as much as possible. And then there's emotional eating. Stress, boredom, and emotional distress can trigger cravings. I think we all know this. Even though sugar can temporarily boost your mood by releasing the quote feel good hormones, serotonin and dopamine, You might enjoy it at the time, but again, the blood sugar spikes won't be worth it, leading to increased difficulty in losing weight and or leading to weight gain. And then lack of nutrients. A diet lacking in essential nutrients, especially protein and healthy fats, can lead to sugar cravings as the body seeks energy sources. Here goes the word balanced diet again. A balanced diet is a must. I actually do meal plans for my patients, and many times their calories are around 1,200 calories. I have a patient in particular who is not on a GLP-1 medication at all. So I'm always just very cognizant of how many calories I'm giving her because I'm like, she has no help in anything suppressing her appetite. However, every week when I see her, she comes in and she is losing weight. She's doing great. She's actually doing one of my training plans as well. But she'll tell me, you know what? I didn't get that last meal in. I just couldn't eat it. It was too much food. And I'll tell her that's perfectly fine. I said, I just want you to know you're only eating about 1,200 calories. Some days it's 1,150. And, I don't want her on a 800 or 900 calorie diet, especially since she's not on an appetite suppressant. But the reason why she feels so full is because she's eating a balanced diet. She's eating a lot of protein, but even with that protein, it's proportioned out. When I make those meal plans, it's a certain amount of protein per meal, it's a certain amount of carbs per meal, and it's a certain amount of healthy fats. So she's not eating too much protein because there is such a thing as eating too much protein. It can affect your kidneys. So the balanced diet is so important. And even just spacing it out throughout the day will help you stay full to the point you can actually lose weight and not have to eat a ton of food or feel like you're actually starving yourself. So, anyway, moving on with the sugar cravings, sleep deprivation. Lack of sleep disrupts hormones like ghrelin and leptin, which regulates hunger and satiety, which causes increased cravings for high sugar and high calorie foods. So again, there's that word sleep deprivation or, the poor sleep habits. Make sure you're getting adequate sleep at night, going to bed around the same time and waking up around the same time. Super important. And then dehydration. Sometimes the body confuses thirst with hunger. I think we've all heard that before. This leads to sugar cravings when what's really needed is just simply water. Again, I recommend a gallon a day, if not contraindicated. And then habits and conditioning. Regular consumption of sugary foods can create a cycle of dependence. The more sugar you eat, the more your body will crave it. So be intentional with your eating habits. And then hormonal changes. Fluctuations in hormones, particularly during PMS, pregnancy, or menopause, can lead to increased sugar cravings. I think most, if not all, women have experienced this. My advice for this is at least try to go for some of the healthiest choices out there. One example is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate has a powerful source of antioxidants. It can improve blood flow and lower blood pressure. It raises HDL, which is your good cholesterol, something you want to happen. Dark chocolate may reduce the risk of heart disease. It can improve brain function, and it can actually help improve insulin sensitivity, reduce hunger and appetite, as well as enhance mood. However, just like with most things, moderation is the key. 30 to 60 grams is what is recommended. I would stick to 30 grams if at all possible. And then lastly, stress and cortisol. Stress causes the release of cortisol, a hormone that can increase appetite, especially for sugary and high fat foods as a form of quick comfort. Understanding these triggers can help individuals manage their cravings and make healthier choices. If you notice, many of the things that lead to a slower metabolism are also things that lead to sugar cravings. I hope you will take some time this week and try to make some lifestyle changes to try to increase your metabolism and work on those negative things that lead to increased sugar cravings. You won't accomplish the goal overnight, but dedication and consistency will be the key to your success. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner and owner of Dr. Andrea's Medical and Weight Loss Clinic located in Memphis, Tennessee, as well as the owner of Telehealth DNP, LLC, where I treat patients online in Arizona and Florida. For more weight loss tips, follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I hope you have a great week. Get some workouts in and don't forget to meal prep. Until next week, bye for now.